Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie. This is the week 18, April the 26th through May the 2nd, a weekly wrap up. Alrighty, so this is the weekly wrap-up where I go over all the books that I read for the previous week and also tell you what I am reading currently. Normally I have been doing a lifestyle sort of portion. Last week sucked, if you didn't notice the thumbnail, and if you didn't watch Veda all last month, I'm going to tell you now that the last day of Veda gave a pretty ranty, crazy video. Two things happened that really sort of changed my life. One, I got fired from my job. I'm not going to get into all the details because that's just going to eat up the time for this video. It's super late, so in the day, and I need to get this out to you guys, so I won't go into that. But if you want to know what that ranty video is, I will link it in the cards up here so that you can go check that out. Or you can just check out Veda, the playlist for Veda, and find out all the details of that. But I got fired and it was a crappy week. Then it started to brighten up, even though I am a dark side team leader for the Light versus Dark Readathon, which is still currently going on. Today is the last day, so make sure that you are checking out this hashtag right here over on social media platforms so that you can see what everyone is reading. Our numbers are flippin' amazing, you guys. Oh my goodness, a huge thank you for everyone that's participating. Make sure that you are checking out, or that you have it scheduled to check out the live show, which is happening over on Jen's channel, The Book Refuge, at 7 Central, 8 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow, May the 4th. I will leave the link for that down in the description box so you can set a timer or set a reminder so that you guys can join us. There are going to be some amazing things going on during the live chat. So make sure that you're, come and join us and chat with us and, celebrate this readathon that we did that turned out amazingly because of you guys. You guys that are participating, if you're light side or if you're dark side, it doesn't matter. Everyone is doing such an amazing job that I just can't wait to celebrate with everyone going forward. Let me think. Was there anything else? A huge thank you to everyone that reached out after seeing my video or after hearing about what happened to me last week. I have never been so touched by my internet world than I have been this weekend. You guys are phenomenal. I love you all. You know who you are, the ones that personally reached out to me in my DMs, in my messenger, in Twitter, in Instagram, just all of you guys. Everyone that reached out, thank you so much. You all gave me just a little piece of yourself, and I appreciate that, to give me support, to show me that you support me, and it was just such a touching and uplifting weekend so far that it puts all that negative, toxic things, environment, and situation in my rear view, and it's all because of you guys showing the love that can be, shown, and just support and stuff like that. So let's get into the books that I read last week. So I started the week finishing Lovers by Fiona Cole. I placed this in erotic menage romance. I give it 3.5 stars. I give it 5 Steam fans. I listened to it as an audiobook, and I read this one for the low-key smutathon. weekend that happened last weekend. So in this story, we have Jake, Karina, and Jackson. Jackson and Jake knew each other when they were in college, and something ended up happening between the two of them, but then one of them started to question, you know, sort of their sexuality and what they wanted in life and things like that, and then they went their separate ways. They ended up coming back together because Jackson is venturing out from voyeur, and he is starting a bar, a new club and things like that. So he needs a marketing team that's going to help him and a finance person that's going to help him. And Jackson and Karina happen to be that team. Jackson and Karina also happen to be engaged to each other. So it started off with a good premise of having an MMF sort of romance, but then it takes some twists and turns that, lots of people don't particularly care for. There are content warning and trigger warnings for cheating. So if cheating isn't something that you accept in your romance books, I would shy away from this one. But it is super steamy hot and whoo, very much a fanny. Whoo-wee. Get your cold drink of water ready because you're going to need it for this one. The next book that I finished was A Cowboy to Remember by Rebekah Weatherspoon, and I place this in contemporary. I give it 4 stars. I give it 4 Steam fans. I listened to it as an audiobook, but I also had the ARC version of it, which I received like 2 days before the release date. So I don't really count it as an ARC because 2 days before release, that's not enough time for me to read it in advance. So I ended up listening to it as an audiobook. This is a cowboy romance and a chef. So Evie is the chef, and she is the first black top chef to win, and she's on a TV show and stuff like that. I loved how integral and foodie it was, as well as the fact that it dealt with sort of family and childhood and things like that. So Evie ends up getting amnesia, where she forgets like everything. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like a total amnesia where she doesn't know if she likes eggs. She doesn't know why nutmeg is a scent that she ends up liking. She doesn't know, you know, sort of, I can't remember if she remembers her name or not, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that she ended up forgetting. She forgot that she was a chef, that she, you know, was an amazing chef and stuff like that. So when she goes home and starts to interact with this other family that has a history with her, and they're sort of letting her sort of remember the things that she does, and she has this memory of a guy, but she doesn't know what his name is or who he is, and, you know, she just knows that she has dreams about him, and she has feelings for him, and it's spicy, and I just really, really, really enjoyed it. It's small town, it's black love, it's childhood and amnesia, and yes, I loved it. And then I was privileged with sitting in on date night with Alyssa Cole, and Rebekah was on, and she talked sort of about sort of her inspiration for this book and how her characters became and where she got the topics from and some of her research and stuff like that. And it was just like, mwah! Yes, I loved it. I am very much looking forward to meeting some more of the characters that were brought up in this book, and I just really, really enjoyed it. The next book that I finished was If I Never Met You by Mhairi McFarland. Yeah, I give this book 3 stars. I give it 2 Steam fans. I had this as an ARC, but I just now got around to it, so I found it on audiobook, and whew, I should have read this book. I should have just read the ARC. I should have not tried to read and listen at the same time, because for some reason or another, they decided to really, 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 really change this freaking ARC to finished product. All of a sudden, the ARC doesn't have, you know, it had this like flow of a story about a woman named Lori. Her and her boyfriend end up breaking up after 18 years in a relationship. They didn't get married, but they were together for 18 years. He was her first everything. They work as lawyers together in the same law firm. And yeah, I was just like, okay, I feel this premise. But at the same time, Lori was so hung up on him that she couldn't create or build a Chinese wall and just let him be, let him do his thing. And then come to find out, he ends up, you know, like 6 weeks after their breakup, he done got somebody pregnant, and he's done moved in with her, and he has now started a new relationship, and it's like, what? And Lori over here, oh, boo-hoo-hoo, boo-hoo-hoo, we had 18 years together, but y'all didn't get married. You didn't get married. You didn't really share property. He lets you have all that, and yeah, that puts you out and stuff like that. And then you have Jami, who is another lawyer that works in the office. He has a bad name, and you know, he's like the rake, and he sleeps around and all this other stuff. So is like, okay. And then the two of them, Lori and Jami, end up doing this like fake relationship thing because supposedly Jami's father has an illness, and now he wants to, you know, fulfill some things that his dad wants, and then they end up falling in love, and but the whole time we're still worried about what douchebag ex-boyfriend is doing and in the law firm and stuff like that. And this is where the extras ended up coming in with between the ARC version and the finished product. So I am reading along with listening, right? And I had to rewind this one section about 50% in like 10 different times because I was like, wait, that's not what this says right here on my Kindle in the ARC copy. And it had something to do with Mexicans and Trump, and I was just like, what? Huh? Yeah. What? Huh? Where did that come from? And then about 10% more later, we're getting all very, very feministic in the speech and the dialogue and the thoughts, and I'm like, huh? What? Huh? Why do we have to throw in all of these just super woke extra social issues and stuff like that to all these different like wannabe romances? And I'm like, y'all, come on, publishing houses. Every book does not need to be ultra woke. Every book doesn't have to have a serious social injustice message that goes along with it. Stop. Just stop. I mean, it got to that line and I almost DNF'd it, but then it just turned my reading of this book into a hate read because I just had to finish it to see what happened. And Lori ends up 80% of this book fawning over the ex, worried about what the ex is doing, how the ex is going to respond to her haircut, and how this and that. And oh, that was another thing that really turned me off about this, is that Lori is supposed to be a biracial Jamaican and I think British woman, and she has 3C hair. Like, they specifically put in there that she has 3C hair, but then you compare her to Audrey Hepburn. But no, boo. Audrey Hepburn did not have 3C hair. I mean, this is 4C. So, 3C most definitely is not Audrey Hepburn. Come on now. I'm gonna need, no. The references, the comparisons could have been done much better. It just, and then some of the other comparisons with the characters and how they looked and stuff like that. I was just like, what? Huh? But I read this book on the sly for the Light versus Dark Readathon as a light side read for Reformed Rake, because Jami is the Reformed Rake in this story. He had a sort of man-whorish reputation, and in turn, during his fake relationship with Lori, he ends up changing his ways. So, bam! got some points for that one. The next book that I finished was Your Dad Will Do by Katee Robert. This is an erotic dark romance. I give this book 5 stars. I give it 5 Steam fans. I read it as an ebook. I read it for Light versus Dark Readathon, for Taboo, and black and red on the cover. Woo! Yes, Lord. Whoa, yeah. So we have Lily, who ends up catching her fiance on his desk with his secretary, and she's like, I'm gonna get me my revenge. I've had a crush on his dad for a minute now, and I'm gonna make this reality. So this most definitely has a play in the BDSM world of for the kink of daddy, the daddy kink. So if that's not something you like, I was here for it. I was here for it, yes. And let's see, it has Shane, who is the ex-fiance's father. Yes, he's just a little bit older than her, so there's an age gap thing going on there. Oh yeah, oh yes, yes, revenge. It was just so much goodness. This is so good, so hot, so steamy, just fire. Yes, thank you very much, Katee Robert. Alrighty, then the next book that I finished was Abducted by KI Lynn. This is a story from the Sinister Fairy Tale collection, and it's a fairy tale retelling. I give it 4.25 stars. I give it 4.5 Steam fans. So 5 of them bad boys. I read this as an ARC. It comes out this week, so y'all need to go check this out because it's so good. It's so good. Oh my goodness. So there's a couple fairy tales that are playing in this, or should I say stories, love stories, tragedies, something. There's a couple things that are going along with this one. So I think the fairy tale that I gathered from this, that's reimagined and retold, is Beauty and the Beast. It's just crazy. I read this for Light versus Dark, for Taboo, black and red on the cover as well, and Bad Boy. That was the other one. So we have Arabella, who is abducted, and she's been sort of living her life away from her father, who's a really, really bad guy. And then one night she's on her way home, and they end up abducting her. They kidnap her, and they put her in a cage, and there's a lot of bad things that end up happening to her. The beginning of this was a little shaky for me. It didn't really grab me until about the middle part, and that is when we are introduced to Domenico and Domenico. Yes, that is how we're going to pronounce his name. La Bista. And then some things started to unfold. This turns into a major mafia story, and I am not usually a huge mafia lover when it comes to my romances, but this one dragged me in and was like, oh, you're going to enjoy this. You are going to enjoy this, and you're going to love it, and you're going to rave about it. And then this cover on the front of the book is just fabulous as well. It has a little bit of a tone of Romeo and Juliet, and that might have been a little bit of a spoiler. Hopefully it's not, but it definitely is a Beauty and the Beast, being that Dom is La Bista. So yes, you need to go read that book when it comes out this week. Go, go, go. The next book that I finished was There Goes the Bride by Jami Albright. This I give 4 stars. I give it 2 Steam fans. And I listened to it on the podcast of Read Me Romance. Read Me Romance. And for the Light versus Dark Readathon, I placed this one as a light side sneak read for a cinnamon roll character. So we have Paige, who has secrets in her life, and those secrets start to come to light when Will, her cinnamon roll hero of a fiance, ends up inviting her parents and her family to their wedding party and things like that. Some things are revealed. They're not very good people, but Paige is a good person, and Will sticks by her through it all. I really, really enjoyed their chemistry, Paige and Will's chemistry, and how they interacted. This is a semi-serious story, but it has a fun sort of sweetness to it that is just like, oh yes. And their reuniting scene is just so super cute. It's so super cute. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but it was just adorable. I loved it oh so much. And that was the final book that I read last week. So what am I currently reading? I am currently reading Becoming His by Mariah Dietz for a special project, as well as One Moment Please by Amy Daws, which is for the Light versus Dark readathon, for another light sneak for rom-com. Yes, as well as blue and black on the cover. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. So, are you participating in the Light versus Dark readathon with us? You have a couple more hours. Make sure that you watch us on our live show, which is going to be over on the Book Refuges channel, Jen's channel. I will leave the link down there in the description box so you guys can set your reminders so that you can join us. And we have a whole bunch of amazing things that are going to be happening, so make sure you're watching and check us out on social media and stuff like that. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, there is a feedback form down in the description box so you guys can help me improve my channel. There's a recommendation form down there as well. All you need is the book title, the name of the author, the genre in which you think it falls under, and leave me your name so that I can shout you out if I end up reading the book in the video that I talk about the book. Other than that, you guys are amazing. I love you all. Thank you oh so much for all the support and love that you've given, and all the support and love that you guys continue to give. So thank you for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video.